Here, can she borrow your?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I have a floor report. Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 70 came out favorable with amendments. As amended, House Bill 70 requires MDOT to implement all possible incremental near-term safety improvements if a new approved pedestrian or bicycle safety construction or improvement project is projected to take more than a certain number of months to complete. And I can translate that if anybody wants me to, but move the amendments.
Any discussion or requests for explanations on that bill, on that amendment? Delegate Terraza.
I'm fairly certain I'm going to support this, but can you tell us the elevator version of what that means?
Sure. So I'll give you an example that will explain it. There is an intersection that is slated to become, to have lights put on it, but that's not going to happen for over a year. It is unsafe, so SHA came in and put in stop signs in the interim. That's what they're saying. That's what this bill does, because they don't do that unless individual legislators scream their heads off and push them. So that's what that does.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, on the amendments, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill is before us as amended. Is there a second? Any discussion on the bill as amended? We'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by what? Oh, right. I actually don't need it. Give it back to her. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Delegate Davis is not here. She's absent. And who else? Anybody else?
I think that's it.
That looks like it. Okay. Okay, House Bill 109.
I think those are pylon.
Oh, pylon. Okay. So we're going to go with Allen, Allen Long, Ruth, Terraza, Love, Holmes, Stein, Healy, Boyce, Stewart, Lehman, Guyton, Foley. Okay, House Bill 109. Delegate Stein.
Mr. Chairman, the subcommittee did not take this up, but the recommendation is favorable. The bill establishes the Task Force on Recycling Policy and Recycling and Waste Systems in Maryland
right.
to review the Maryland Recycling Act and study the recycling and waste systems in Maryland.
In fact, the Octagon Committee did take it up and it passed.
The Octagon Committee did, yes. Yeah.
Only.
That's right.
So motion is favorable.
Okay, and is there a second? Okay, so basically we had a great number of task forces. We're only allowed to pass a certain number. So sorry to the people who didn't get a task force, you know, but that, you know, that's sort of the way it's been in this committee since I became chairman and was horribly ridiculed for having passed 8 task forces one year. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. It's everybody except Deborah Davis is still not here. So, okay. House Bill 166. Really?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a work group that came out of the Octagon. Favorable with amendments. As amended, the bill establishes a work group to study community association standing in nuisance actions in Baltimore County. The work group shall make recommendations for altering the requirements for Baltimore County with regard to composition of a community association necessary to establish standing for nuisance actions. Move the bill 166 with amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Is there a second on the amendments? Okay. Is this on the amendments or on the bill itself? These. Okay, Delegate Ruth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So just to clarify, the original provisions of the bill are out and it's just a task force now?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and Delegate Terraza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is this now still restricted to Baltimore County? Or
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
Thank you.
That's right. Okay, on the amendments, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill is before us as amended. Is there a second? Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries. House Bill 239. Delegate, what? Yeah, I know. Delegate Stewart.
You can go. This is mine. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna have this in the background. So, House Bill 239, the Octagon Subcommittee's recommendation was favorable. House Bill 239 creates a task force on accessory dwelling units. I do not believe there is an amendment, is that right? Yeah, just.
That's right.
It's a clean favorable, move the bill.
Any discussion on this bill? Okay. On the bill, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Delegate Terraza is opposed. Any abstentions? The bill carries. House Bill 423, I'm going to hold. House Bill 434. Who has that? That would be, is what? Marvin. There we go.
House Bill 434, as amended, this bill reduces from 80% to 66 2/3% the threshold of unit owners listed on the current roster of a condominium needed for consent to an amendment of the condominiums declaration after all units have been sold by the developer. Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2 provides that if any of the units remaining unsold by the developer, the threshold of unit owners needs to consent to an amendment of a condominium declaration is 80%. That is unchanged from the law. Amendment number, also part of amendment number 2, increases the threshold established under the bill from 60 to 66 2/3 of unit owners needed to consent to an amendment of the declaration. Move the amendments, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill is before us as amended. Is there a second? And any discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Bill carries. House Bill 449, Delegate Healy. Boyce, sorry.
No problem. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, everyone. The subcommittee's recommendation was unfavorable.
Okay. The motion is unfavorable. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? Okay. All those in roll call.
Vice Chair Stein? Yes. Holmes? Love?
And this is an unfavorable motion.
Love? Jacobs?
He's not present. Right. Otto?
Otto? Siliberti? Teresa? Yes. Ruth? Yes. Long is absent. Allen? Yes. Noraki? No. Morgan? Addison?
It's your bill. Oh, he won't take it personally.
Take it personal. Don't owe your bills.
Is Addison?
It's yes.
Baker? No. Ziegler? Foley? Yes. Guyton? Yes. Davis, absent. Lehman? Yes. Stewart? Yes. Boyce?
Yes.
Healy? Yes. Chairman?
Chairman votes yes.
So Jeff Long was absent for that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
14-5. Okay, House Bill 466. Boyce.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Subcommittee's recommendation is favorable with amendments. As amended, the bill authorizes DNR to allow a person in
Worcester.
I can't say it. Ca-
It's like Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, wonk, 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 wuss. To hunt on each Sunday of the game bird and mammal season on private property and public land designated for Sunday hunting by DNR. This new Sunday authorization for Sundays are only available 1/2 hour before sunrise until 10:30 a.m. The committee's amendments were to change the time to the restricted hours of 1/2 hour before sunrise and till 10:30. Move the amendment.
Okay, is there a second? There's a second. Any discussion on the amendment? Okay, on the amendment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bill as amended? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Delegate Terraza is opposed. Delegate Guyton is opposed. Delegate Lehman is opposed. Anyone else? Okay. The bill carries 18-2. What? No, there was 3 negative. Sorry, 17-3. Okay. House Bill 631. Who has that? Voice.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't think I have the,
Floor report?
I have it, but the bill was favorable with amendments. No, it's okay. I think I can summarize it.
The amendment should be there. Oh, you did get the wrong one.
It's okay.
my fault.
No, it's okay.
I just want to play full fastball.
That's okay,
Make sure
it's
you have
okay.
Can you make sure you have the amendments right?
So yes, subcommittees was favorable with amendments. The bill establishes land conservation goals for the state. 2, a 40 by 40 land conservation implementation grant, and 3, a local land trust revolving loan program, and 4, specified annual stewardship grants. Amendment number 1 makes technical changes, and amendment number 2 eliminates the mandated funding under the bill and allows for the transfer of funding from overattainment of program open space to the revolving loan program. Move the amendments.
And there's a second. Any discussion or questions about the amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. Bill is before us as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries. Oh, pylon? Okay, all right. Pylon amendment. So we've got Allen, Long, Ruth, Terraza, Love, Healy, Boyce, Stewart, Lehman, Guyton, Foley, Ziegler, Addison. I believe that's it. Would you like?
Allen, Long, Ruth, Terraza, Love, Healy, Boyce, Stewart, Lehman, Guyton, Foley, Ziegler, and Addison.
Okay. House Bill 695. Delegate Boyce.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Subcommittee's recommendation is favorable with amendments. As amended, the bill authorizes the allocation of grants from the rural Maryland for certain business and workforce development activities. Amendment number 1 makes technical changes, and amendment number 2 strikes language that would have mandated an appropriation to the fund, strikes language that would have changed distribution under the fund, and restores the fund's existing termination date. Move the amendments.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, on the amendments, any discussion or questions? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. Bill is before us as amended. Is there a second? Any discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Bill carries. House Bill 825. I think that's, Stewart. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The subcommittee recommendation for House Bill 825 is favorable with amendments. The bill, as amended, authorizes the town of Forest Heights in Prince George's County to undertake urban renewal projects for blight clearance by exercising the power of eminent domain to acquire properties in blighted areas that are zoned for commercial purposes. Amendment number 1 is technical, and amendment number 2 adds residential property to the bill. Move the amendments.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none. Oh, yes, Delegate Otto.
Now, we're gonna kick people out of their house.
Hopefully, that's our goal. Yeah, so the Prince George's delegation sent us this amendment. So, currently under, some towns have authority to do blight clearance just for
Yeah.
commercial properties. Some have it for both residential and commercial. According to existing Supreme Court precedent, towns, counties, states can exercise eminent domain, for residential property as long as there's a public purpose.
But
So-
there is, some, reining in of that.
Yeah, there's notice and,
ability.
there's
I mean,
notice, there's a hearing, there's just compensation, and there has to be a
Yeah,
public purpose. Yep,
All right, it's a local bill.
it's a local bill.
Yep, all those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a
Second.
And there's a second. Any discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries. House Bill 1179. Who has that?
Me again.
That you again.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1179, the subcommittee recommendation was favorable, no amendments. It explicitly allows officials or employees of the University System of Maryland, its constituent institution centers, or institutes to accept a research grant through an affiliated foundation if the research grant can't be directly accepted because of conditions required by the grantor. Move the bill.
Okay, there was a
No
straight,
amendments.
straight favorable. Okay, on the bill, straight favorable. Any discussion? Seeing none, we proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes, any abstentions? None of those. Okay, the bill carries. House Bill 1026, is that you, Vaughn?
That's me again, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman. House Bill 1026, the subcommittee recommendation was favorable with amendments. As amended, the bill gives Prince George's County the specified authority to exercise eminent domain on neglected property in a TOD area that's located in a business improvement district. The amendments basically make technical changes. Essentially, what we did in the amendments is adding the public purpose provision, and we made sure that state property wasn't included in the bill. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second? Any discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries. The last bill is being withdrawn by Delegate Stein. The motion is motion unfavorable, withdrawn by sponsor. It's House Bill 831. Is there a second? Any discussion on the unfavorable motion withdrawn by sponsor? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Any abstentions? The unfavorable motion carries. Okay, see you on the floor.